Hi guys, how's it going? Today we've got a couple of projects to work on. We are going to be preparing a few of our containers for winter, which means taking some frost tender stuff out and repotting a few things that we want to save. And then we're going to plant some hardier shrubs back in the containers so that we have something pretty to look at for the winter months. When we're done with that, if we have time, I've got one variety of pink Veronica in the back of the gator that I would like to plant out. We're going to start in the back kitchen entrance area. We recently did these containers here. There's a Freedom boxwood and then a Maryland Senbeckia with some violas in this container, just real simple. Oh, and a Dichondra Silver Falls. That was part of our summer arrangement, but it just looks so pretty, I kept it. And if we swing left here, you can see we still have some pinkerific dahlias, Supertunia Bordeaux, looking like a little tired, but still colorful. We've got the Rockin' Deep Purple Salvia in here. There's one of them that's a lighter purple. I don't know what the deal is. Like the deep purple usually looks like this, but do you see that one? It looks very like pale lavender. I love it. It's so pretty and it's a little bigger. We've also got the little fall area that we worked on the other day. And then we've got two containers right here. These are the two we're going to work on. So you can see in here, we've got lots of different things going on. There's some calla lilies. I'm going to pull the rhizomes out and save those. We've got some begonias that will not last through frost. And we don't have a frost on our forecast yet, but we do have one night that's going to get down to 36. So pretty darn close, and things will start to suffer, especially right here on the north side of the house where they don't get any sun this time of year. So I just want to get ahead of it, especially for the things that I want to save. I don't want them to have to go through really any stress or like too much cold. I want them to stay healthy. But we've also got some perennial violas that I'll just probably cut back today. Just a general clean out. And then we've got this container down here with the most beautiful Rex begonia. So this one is called Space Age Black Hole. That's one begonia. And they make for decent house plants. So we're gonna pull this out and repot it. And I've got another one on the other side of the house. I haven't looked at it in a little bit though. I don't know if I can plant them both together in the same pot or if I should put them separate. We're gonna go look. It's right down this walkway in that container. Oh, it looks good. Oh, look at that. Yeah, that is just so gorgeous. I don't know, maybe I should keep them in their own containers. They usually top out between 15 to 18 inches tall and wide, and there's something like a zone, I don't know if this is exact, but 10 through 12 right around in there. So definitely not winter hardy enough for our zone 6 climate. But this was one of those 30-second planters. And we've got some fuchsia in here that didn't do a tremendous amount, but there was always a little bit of color. And then one of the euphorbias, I might be Diamond Frost. Okay, so we're gonna save both of those begonias. I think I'll decide once we get them out of the pots and can kind of size them up. If we'll put them in the same container. I did bring a biggish container up for those, so probably could fit them both in. And then you guys, we're gonna go in with more of the Freedom boxwoods. I would like to just have boxwoods everywhere in containers this winter. We've also got one right here. Okay, clean out first. Well, we can go ahead and take a look at everything I've got back here too. You can see I brought the two boxwoods up for those two containers. This is the container I brought up for the begonia. And it's pretty big, so we might be able to do both. And then this is the pink Veronica that I'd like to plant out. It's Pink Potion. And I was happy, oh boy, there's a honeybee. I was happy that there was at least one bloom so you could see what we can expect from these. I've got these in multiple other areas of the garden. They're so darn productive, earlier in the season, of course. And they're so beautiful and the pollinators love them. I just want to keep adding more. Okay, but for now, we're gonna grab our bag and our kneeling pad and my gloves. So I don't do a tremendous amount in the way of preparing containers for winter. I mean, the rule of thumb is if you want to winter something over in a container outside, it's best to choose something that's rated 2 zones colder than your growing zone. So if you're a zone 6 like I am, choosing something that's rated down to a zone 4 is the safest way to go. Boxwoods, in fact, I think the one that I'm planting today is a zone 5. I usually have really good luck with it. I think the biggest thing is making sure it's one in a large enough container so that there's some amount of soil around its root ball, but also to not let it dry out. And watering your containers in the middle of winter is one of the last things that you might be thinking about. But if you put a reminder in your phone like every couple of weeks to go out and splash a little water on your plants, that's I think the best way to ensure them coming out on the other side of winter looking nice. And I think it's deceiving too. If you're getting a lot of rain or a lot of just moisture, if you have an evergreen with a lot of broad leaves like the boxwood, a lot of times that water is being deflected away from the root ball. It's not actually making it down to the root ball. So checking that soil every once in a while is just a good idea. Okay. Whoa. All right. I'm down to the begonia in this one. Oh, look at this. Oh my gosh. It came out pretty nicely. I'm gonna go set it in the back of the gator. Goodness. We've got our calla lily rhizomes here. I'm gonna set those aside. Hey chickies, hey girls. Okay, boxwoods are in. They look really pretty and just clean. Well, they will look clean here in a minute. I think we should run out to the garden and gather up some pine cones so that we can top dress the soil. Oh, those turned out so great. I love how clean they look. They're gonna look like this all through the whole winter. We got to use our own spruce cones, plus a few decorative acorns that I have had forever. Just decided to pop them here because this container is so much bigger than this one, and I've got the same plant in both. I needed a little bit more bulk. So that worked out perfectly. Or, you could ring around both of these with pansies. I just don't have any. Also, I will be bringing a hose around to clean this all off. But again, these are the Freedom Boxwoods. They are zone 5 through 8. I double checked the tag, and they want to grow about 4 feet tall by 3.5 feet wide if you were to plant them in the ground and just kind of let them do their thing. But these are a fairly new one to us. We've just started trying these new gen Boxwoods out this year. They're coming into the Proven Winners line next year. So we've had Freedom and Independence, and I'm just going to, I think, pop a bunch of the Freedom variety around in containers or tucked into flower beds here and there. We're using Independence mostly as hedging plants. And I want to imagine that these pine cones provide just an extra layer of protection to the roots of these plants during the winter time. And then, like I said, I will be putting them on a timer with everything else, a reminder in my phone, because, we've got Japanese maples in trees. There's, Japanese maple in this tree over here, and, other containers. And I can hear the chickens. They're somewhere around here. There they are. Hey, girls. Hey, chickens. Hey. Did you find some good stuff? Hey, chicken. Hey. Oh, it's nice in this spot, isn't it? These are the little babies that we got in April, you guys. And they're all laying eggs. They're all so healthy. When I looked at the forecast and saw that 36-degree night, I just thought, you know what? We should just let these girls free range. and let them enjoy what's left of the season. It's fun to see them scratching around. They do have a big run, like way more than recommended per chicken to have, like square footage wise. And we put fresh stuff in their run all the time. So it's not like they're deprived, but it's nice to see them out and about. Okay, before we head off to the next containers, I'm going to pot up this begonia. Okay, I'm using regular potting mix right here. That's what it's been growing in this whole season. And apparently the plant has liked it. It didn't come out with a massive root system. I'll hold it up so you can see it right there. Okay. Oh, gosh, that is just so gorgeous. Oh my word. I'm not gonna try to squeeze that other one in. Look at that. It is just, that is a stunning plant. I'd like to go put it in the Hartley, but since we're over here and I do want to pull the mangaves out, let's do that really quick. And both the lemon coral sedum and the mangaves look good in 3 out of the 4 containers. Look at that right there, it looks gorgeous. This is the one that's looking a little sketch. I don't know what is going on. I think it might be getting too much water in there. But what we did with these mangaves, if you look in here close, you can see that they're just sunk into these urns in their plastic nursery containers. So other than just pulling this sedum out, I mean, that's gonna come out easy. Wow. Yeah, those were like almost not rooted in, which makes me think that the roots were rotting off. But these should hopefully just lift out of the container unless they've rooted into the soil beneath. Either way, they should be kind of easy to get out. And I'd like to get them in the greenhouse. Yeah, that soil is wet. I bet you that's what was going on with this one. Okay, we've removed 3 out of the 4 so far, and I've run out of room in the gator. So we need to go unload before I take after that last one. But look at how gorgeous these mangaves are. And they did so beautifully in their containers, which means we don't have to be in a huge hurry to repot them. And they will need to be repotted. We'll just save that for a real crummy weather day. But we can just go pop these in the greenhouse. And while this one, like I mentioned, the mother plant dies when it blooms, I'm hopeful that by taking it out, it will have time to possibly produce some pups off the side. And usually they're in bloom for a very long time. So we'll be able to enjoy that in the greenhouse for now. Plus, I didn't want to leave one of the urns full of stuff and the other 3 empty. And it is a little painful, I'm not gonna lie, to pull out something that looks as good as a lemon coral, but the first cold night, it just gets mushy and doesn't look that great. So we're just kind of preemptively taking care of it. I don't like feeling in a rush, you know, like right when that cold hits, feeling like, oh my gosh, I have everything still to do out in the garden. I still need to go gather everything up. So I've had to learn how to be a little bit tougher through the seasons to pull some things out a little early, even if they still look pretty good. Okay, so here in the greenhouse, you can see we've got other mangaves right here. It'll be interesting to put the ones we just pulled out next to this one because we got them in at the same time. And this one has hung out in its container in the greenhouse all summer while the other ones had a chance to be outside. But you might notice that I just recently put the sides of the greenhouse down, rolled those down a couple of days ago, and closed the back door. So on a day like today when the sun's out and it's not very breezy, It is 90 degrees in here, which should make for some really happy plants, honestly. It just got so windy a few days ago. It was just whipping the plastic around. I don't like that. Oh, I don't think we're gonna be able to put this one on the table. Oh man. Ugh. All right, well, there's the 3 of them. Look at the size difference. I'm gonna say this one out of all 3 is probably the smallest. Definitely bigger than that one though. This one has to hang out on the ground because that bloom stalk is so tall. Okay, now we're gonna go drop the begonia off, and I am going to grab this pot. I just cleaned out this stack of pots recently. We're gonna put that other begonia in this one. Oh, that's pretty heavy. I'm gonna see if Aaron wants to come out here and lift that for me. Hey, hey, you're close by. Can you help me lift a pot quick?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. Perfect. Oh, isn't that pretty?
I love it.
I do too. All right, guys, look at this begonia. Look at how gorgeous. So we'll go grab the other one, pot it up, and bring it in here, and then I'm gonna go grab some saucers for both containers. Gosh, boy, if you have containers in a shady spot next year, plant those. They are so gorgeous. They do not need a lot of water. They don't want to be fertilized a bunch, and then you can enjoy them inside. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're gonna go to the dirt lands to drop off our debris. Okay, and just in case you're wondering, I have tried to winter over lemon coral sedum, and it does okay, but it does want to get fairly leggy. And I mean, it'll make it through the winter. You just have to keep cutting it back and doing that kind of thing. But anyway, in this case, to get them out of the pots, I have to damage the roots so much that it's just, I don't know if it's worth it. All right, they are all cleaned out now. This one you could hardly see, but all the plants were still healthy. I'm thankful for that. We need to come through here and do some trimming here soon. Let's go grab that other begonia. And then there are 2 mangaves. I think there's 2. Maybe, no, yeah, there's maybe 3. I don't know. Anyway, there's a few behind the Hartley. We're gonna grab those today as well. Okay, what I'm wondering is what if we took this whole container into the greenhouse just to see what these other plants do? That might be a fun experiment. And it would mean I don't have to disrupt the root system. I think we should try it. This one does have a drip system running up through the bottom of the pot. Oh, and a black widow, excellent. Okay, just cut the drip tube. Faster than yours. pillar big enough? No. But that's okay.
I got it.
Got it?
Yep.
Let's put it back, straight back. A little bit more. 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 And that's probably pretty good. Okay, so it's not going to stay here forever because that's not the right size pillar for this huge pot, but that's okay. It's going to keep it in the right sort of light, I think. And I could actually bring in the pillar it was sitting on. But I'm going to be rearranging in here when we get ready for Christmas. So I'm a little loose with where I'm putting things at the moment. And this makes me happy. Diamond Frost is supposedly a decent houseplant as well. I don't know about fuchsia. Being in here, it might be happy, but wouldn't that be fun if it really just thrived? I think it would be. I'm really happy with that. Okay, the mangaves back here. We've got one on this side, so that'll be easy. We'll just pop that out. And then over here on this side, I think it's just one as well. We've got the one coleus, my word. And we've got this right here. Let's take this one out right now. Oh my, that one was sitting in water. Pretty good timing. Plant still looks healthy. Okay, well that was easy. I do have two other mangaves in the urns right in front. So at either side of this doorway. But I'm not too worried about it because when it does dip down a little bit more, I'm just gonna pop them right inside. So that'll be a really easy, quick move. But look at these Suncredibles. These haven't been deadheaded. Chickens. Hey girls, how you doing? How you doing? Oh my, oh. Climbing over the boxwoods. Hi, sweet girl. Are you loving your time? Where are the other chickens? Chickens! Oh, there's one. Hey, chicken. Oh, and there's Russell. Hey, buddy. Hey, Russell. Hey. Come here, kitty. Come here, bud. I don't know how I ended up with animals of the same color. Hey, chicken, I see you over there. What are you doing? Come here. Come here, chicken. Anyway, the Suncredibles, aren't they awesome? They've just been a constant bright light up here. Okay, we're gonna go deliver these mangaves to the greenhouse, and then our last project for the day are the Veronica. And here they are. So this one's called Moon Glow, and this one is Night Owl, and then another Catch a Wave right there. And then if we look over here, you can see what the Moon Glow looks like that's been in here all summer long. Look at the color. Oh, they're so pretty. And then the Night Owl right here. Looks pretty similar. Not much difference on those. Oh, I just love that it worked to sink them down in their containers and that it just gives us a little bit of time before we have to get them all repotted. Oh. All right, we are in the back part of the south garden. I think this is the perfect spot for these plants. We've got some hollyhocks in the space, but you know, they're typically a lot taller, especially earlier in the season. There's kind of an apricot pink rose. To the right, we've got a couple of the spiced pear roses. And then we also have the Agastaki we grew from seed this winter and some other things. I mean, of course, the annuals. And I kind of want to leave some space for annuals, but probably not this amount. I mean, it's gorgeous, but I would like to start working some perennials in. So I think starting with some of the Veronica back in here is a good start for this space. But gosh, I don't know, this violet ice can hardly be beat. It's so gorgeous, but these tuck in beautifully. And there they are all planted. My word, the soil is so hard over here. So hard. And I remember now when I planted these Agastaki seedlings, they were in 4-inch containers and I had a hard time even digging those holes. So to dig larger holes, oh my goodness, I had to get the shovel out and kind of like pick away at the side of the holes. Usually once we start irrigating, so when we get the drip tube put around these plants, it usually softens up the soil and they do okay, thankfully. But I think they're going to be really beautiful back in here, and we'll continue to add some more things in as we go along. And you guys, that is going to do it for today's projects. I am so happy to have a jump on cleaning out containers and getting things put in the greenhouse in warmth. And while we're not closing the greenhouse up completely at night, it does provide some protection. So if we do get, sometimes we get like a weird cold snap and a freeze that we weren't expecting. So it's always kind of peace of mind to have those tucked away. And it's nice to get some perennials tucked in too, because this is a great time to go shopping for them. A lot of times you'll find things that are past their prime on the clearance rack and they just need to get into the ground and they'll be great next year. These Veronica do benefit from a shear back, kind of like salvia after their first flush of blooms, and it just helps the plant maintain kind of that tidy growth habit, and then they do have energy to bloom a lot more profusely the second time around. I do have some Veronica that I never got around to the shear back, and they do fine. They just tend to get a little bit more leggy and kind of want to flop over about this time of year. You know what? One other thing I was going to mention, the calla lily rhizomes. So what we do with those when we pull them out of the container is I want to let them dry for about a week or so, week, 10 days, and you can put them like in a place like the greenhouse or the studio inside somewhere where they're going to be protected from any like major cold, and also where they can stay dry. And then once they've dried, you can wrap them in newspaper or vermiculite and then store them somewhere that's right around 50 degrees. That's typically what they like. And you can wait a little longer too to dig them out of their pots if your callas still look good. They can handle a light frost, which will kind of take the tops of their leaves, and you can wait till after that point. You just don't want to leave them in the container for a hard frost. So take them out between that first frost and the heavier frost, trim the leaves down. You can leave them an inch or two long if you want. And you can wait longer to take your callas out of pots. You can wait until the first light frost has taken the leaves and made them look pretty bad. But as you can see, mine were flopped over and looking pretty crummy as it was. So you can wait longer if you want to. You just don't want to leave them in there for a hard frost. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.